Morning you guys, it's Karen, and today I'm here to talk about the things I no longer buy beauty wise. I asked you guys if you're interested in this video. Lisa D1 did it and another few people, and I thought it was really interesting. And yeah, it was nice to write the list down and try and think, what do I not buy naturally? What do I wish I would buy no more of, but I just can't help myself, you know, that kind of thing. And I've got a few alternatives here and, you know, reasons why I don't buy things. There are a couple of things on here that I hope I don't buy any more of these things. The number one is perfume, and I'll try and be short with this because firstly, I did buy another bottle of perfume yesterday. So up until yesterday, I no longer buy perfume. I haven't bought perfume for about a year, and the one I bought was this. It is Molecule 01. Is that what it's called? Molecule 01. This is just the travel size, £36. I bought this because I don't normally buy perfume myself. That's one of the reasons why I no longer buy perfume, if you like. Kev would normally buy it for me. We don't really get the opportunity nowadays to go shopping together. We used to do that, but obviously having Watson, we don't really leave him alone, and we certainly wouldn't leave him alone just to go shopping. So it would either be me shopping or him shopping. And so I don't think he'd know which perfume he would like, which perfume I would like. It's not so I never go and spray perfume now. I used to when I went shopping with my friend. So I bought this about a year ago because I wanted to try and find one that he would like, and he does like this one. Because we gave up smoking 15 years ago, my husband and I, and since then everything changed taste-wise and even smell-wise. And Kev didn't like any of the perfume that I had. And the one that I've got that I love, you can see my perfume shelf there, that brown shelf there has got 5 perfumes on it. One of which is Giorgio Armani, an oud perfume that I just adore, but Kev doesn't like it. Well, I bought that when coming back from our honeymoon. That's how long ago we bought it, so it was 8 years ago. He bought me Alexander McQueen Kingdom, which doesn't exist anymore, and I just still love that, but he really went off that after we gave up smoking, because you get your kind of sense of smell back, and it was just too strong for him. So this one is more my sort of everyday perfume. Not every day, this is more the one that I reach for, is what I mean, because why don't I wear perfume anymore? Because of Watson, basically. Because when we went to pick him up as a puppy, I remember we were told don't wear perfume or aftershave because it's too overpowering for the dogs. You know, dogs have got a huge impressive sense of smell, and really strong perfume is no good for them. You know what it's like when somebody has sprayed too much on. Actually, somebody told me that in the hotel. Somebody I worked with once said to me, you wear too much perfume, like you've bathed in it, you know, and he said it's really like overpowering. And I know what it's like when somebody's done that. And in fact, there was this one girl, so when I worked in the hospitals, and I used to park at one hospital and then catch the bus to the other hospital. There was like a free bus for NHS staff because there was no parking at the other one. So I used to get on this bus, and this woman used to get on, and she was a smoker, and she would have a cigarette before she got on the bus, but she was also doused in this horrible perfume, and so you got the smell of not very nice perfume mixed with cigarette smoke, and it was just awful. It used to make me feel really sick. So I know there's nothing worse than strong perfume, even from a human perspective, but when you think about dogs and their great sense of smell, it must be pretty awful for them. And so she was saying, as puppies, you know, we don't want them to be put off you and to be put off humans, by especially when you're going to pick them up and hold them and they can't cope with the scents. And so since really having Watson, I have reduced the amount of strong scents there are in my life, so I don't anymore use plug-ins or air fresheners. Okay, number 2, face wipes. I think I have got about 3 packets of face wipes left, and I am using them I'm using them on Watson actually, or just as kind of, you know, makeup wipes to get rid of the makeup off my hands. But I stopped buying wipes quite a while ago. I bought a packet that you put that you can put your own wipes in, and then I bought some sort of bamboo face cloths and tried to soak them in cleanser and see if it would work, me carrying them around or using them every day, but it was just too much of a pain. And I always used face wipes as that kind of first pass to get my makeup off, but now I tend to either do that in the shower or just use it with my reusable cotton, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. So I can't remember the last time I bought face wipes. Number 3 is cotton wool, and these are my reusable cotton that I use and have been using for a long time. In fact, I did one video and it was a get unready with me, and because I still had a lot of cotton wool there, because I use it for nails. I use one for the the nail wipe on gel polish, and there was something else I occasionally use one for. I can't think what it was. Anyway, I still had a lot of cotton wool, so I thought, well, I'm just going to use cotton wool on camera. And of course everybody was like, you shouldn't be using cotton wool, and I was like, well, actually I don't, I just had this stuff here, you know, and this is what I've been using. So this is the little bag I put all of my clean ones into, and then I just use, it's actually just a bra holder to put in the wash. As soon as I've used whatever I need that day, I will put them in that little thing in my linen cupboard and then wash them in that. Now these are not ironed. I do sometimes iron these. I know that's crazy, but I don't know, it makes them feel nicer somehow. But I've got a few different types here. These are, I think, the very first ones I bought, and these are quite thick, but that means that they're not that soft to use, but they are nicely absorbent in that you can get some reusable cotton where you pour liquid on and it just runs off, but it doesn't on this one. These little ones with the pockets, I don't find them that useful. I was actually looking at these thinking I might just chuck the ones with the little pockets out or not use those because they're no good, but these are my favourite ones. This, I think, it feels like flannel material, but I don't know whether this is bamboo, because I've definitely bought some bamboo ones, but I'll make sure and link for you these ones, because these are great in that I would still hold it so that, you know, you're careful in case the liquid comes off, because it does sometimes come off a little bit. It's not quite as absorbent as this, but it's not, you pour it on and you could pour it off of this, if that makes sense. It does still absorb into this and you can still use it. And these are really, really nice and soft. And these are washing really well as well, because I've had these for quite a while and washed them quite a few times. And they seem to, all of these actually in here, they've not got any stains on. Whereas I have found that this one, although I've obviously just used this one for my last cleanse. Now you can even see there, they don't seem to wash as well. Anyway, I will link those for you, the ones that I use. So I no longer buy cotton wool. I probably will buy like one packet when I run out of everything that I've got, but I barely use them anymore. Nail polish is something else I no longer buy. I have got two nail polishes up there, one white nail polish and one black nail polish, and I keep those. I keep the black nail polish I use more for like scuffs on my shoes, or where there's discoloration on something black, you know, be it furniture or just anything really. I just can't bring myself to give those two nail polishes away, because I feel like there might be one day where I just don't have time to do my nails. But actually it's almost quicker to do. It's quicker to apply gel polish and cure it, to me, than it is to sit doing nail polish and wait for it to dry completely. The process that isn't the easiest is the removal of the gel polish. I do it with a nail drill sometimes. I don't always do it that way. Sometimes I just buff off the top and put my foils on. But I know that my best friend now only uses nail polish and not gel polish. She's the other way to me. She no longer uses gel polish because she finds it too much, the time that it takes to remove them. But I was always too impatient, and I would do my nails and then I would do something, need a wee of something, and I'd always ruin them and then have to do them again. And I was just like, this is just, I can't be bothered. I love the fact that with gel nails you can just cure them and that's them dry, and you know, you can do what you want. So no more nail polish for me. I no longer buy cuticle oil. I haven't bought cuticle oil in a long time, but I do use it. So the one I used to buy was this C&D solar oil, but then I researched a little bit about the nails and what can get through and what works on them, and actually there's not many things that can really get through and help the nails other than jojoba oil. That can actually, that's because it's not an oil, it's more, it's easier to penetrate your nails. And mixed with almond oil, that is actually the best kind of combination of oils for your nails. And I started using that to repair my nails. And these now that you see are my own nails. I do put a layer of gel, builder gel on them just to strengthen them, but I very rarely break them. I can't remember the last time I have broken a nail and needed to do like a nail extension. They're very, very strong and they've repaired very well. And what I did was took everything off and I just kept putting a layer of this on every couple of hours. So I mixed these two oils, so the almond oil and the jojoba oil, into here, and that's all I use on my nails. And my cuticles are much better, my nails are much stronger. This is something to do if you want to just really repair your nails. Take everything off them, put this on every few hours, as many times as you remember. do that for a few days. Then you can put actually nail polish on to seal all that oil in, and it really helps. So I will link these two for you. I don't know why I've got such a small bottle of this jojoba oil. I think because I use Almond for other things. I'll use this in my hair. I can use this to remove makeup. You know, there's a few other things you can use with almond oil. But I'll link those ones. I love this Nascence brand. Number 6, I don't buy highlighter. The last one I bought was by Revolution, and I thought it was beautiful. It was a beautiful highlighter. It was one of their little loose highlighters, and I thought it looked gorgeous, but it didn't last on me. It sort of fell down on my face. But highlighter is just not, it just doesn't look great on me. I don't think it's an age thing. I don't know whether it's just because of my visible pores here and my lines. You know, I find it difficult to get highlighter in the right place. It's just not something I've ever really enjoyed that much. I really just tried to enjoy it because it was, you know, part of the YouTube culture, and I was like, I really should enjoy a highlighter. Everybody loves highlighters. Why don't I, you know? But I just ended up thinking, you know what, that's it. I'm not going to bother keep on trying to find a highlighter that I like, especially since I have ones that are sort of highlighters that if I'm going to want to do something, this is what I'll use. So I don't know whether this one even exists, but this is called Too Faced Candlelight. So I'll just briefly show you it. It's just, this is more like a finishing powder, but it's got a tiny bit of sparkle in it, like the tiniest amount. Don't even know if it's sparkle. Softly illuminating translucent powder, it says. So like I said, I don't know if this even exists, but I wore this on my wedding day, and it's really lovely. The other highlighter I like, this is the Laura Geller French Vanilla. Is that what it's called? Baked highlighter in French Vanilla. Yeah, this I really like. I like this as a sort of, you know, like you can just press it on your inner eye here, that kind of highlighter, but I have also used it sort of on the top of my cheeks, and because it's not a kind of in your face highlighter, it's just like a satin. It's really nice. Really like that one. That's actually very much like an eyeshadow by Bare Minerals called Soul, a loose eyeshadow, which actually would also make a really good highlighter. And then I've got the Photography Fluid. That's a liquid highlighter. I would use that, or illuminator. I have tried this on my cheeks. To be fair, I don't love it, but you know, I would mix that in with foundation or something if I was looking for a little bit more luminosity. And then of course there's finishing powder. So I've got the Revolution one that I love, which is in Luminescence. This is a skin finish. And I've also got the Hourglass one. And I've showed both of these recently because this Hourglass Infinity powder, this is a dupe. So I no longer buy highlighters. Number 7, I no longer buy eyeliner pencils. I mean a black eyeliner pencil to put in my waterline, because I finally, thanks to my friend Holly, found one that stays in my waterline. And this is by Milk Makeup. I'm currently trying to use up my Wonderliner. That's the last one I had used. And that one is pretty good in the waterline, but not as good as the Milk Makeup one. It's got a smudger on the end. I never ever use that. But it's just your typical kind of twist up black eyeliner. But like I said, I have tried between 20 and 30, I would say at least, for my waterline, and none of them work. But this one works wonderfully. It doesn't gather in the middle. It doesn't smudge underneath. You don't find yourself with it all outside here. You know, I've worn this when I've been meeting my friend for lunch, and often with a black eyeliner, I would, you know, we'd go to the toilets after I'd been shopping in the morning, had lunch, and we'd go off to the toilets, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, I had black everywhere, and it was from the eyeliner. So this Milk Makeup one is my holy grail, and there's no reason to try any others because this works. Number 8 is lip liners. This is one of those things that is on my wish list of things that I want to no longer buy, simply because these are my lip liners. That's the sort of red bold lip liners, and this is the nude lip liners. And I have just had a sort out of these and given away, you know, removed probably half of that amount. So I had double of these, and I've just cleared them out again. And there's enough here, you know, it's like there's enough reds and pinks that I certainly don't need one in that colour. And there is enough nudes here that I feel like I should be able to find the lip liner I need to use without buying any more. The only caveat, I suppose, would be this one is my kind of holy grail to use with my favourite liquid lipstick is Stila liquid lipstick in Caramello, and this is the Too Faced lip liner in Perfect Nude that no longer exists. They don't even seem to do lip pencils, but I love this, and I got this last one from Amazon. but I think until I can stop getting it from Amazon, like there's no reason for me to keep on trying to find lip liners. I've been trying to match this and never getting the perfect colour. I've literally tried every brand. And in fact, at one point I even carried this with me and tried to, you know, match up, and I thought I'd found a match in Kiko, and then it wasn't the same. So I just feel like I'm fighting a losing battle. I need to stop with the lip liners because I'm just constantly buying one, hoping that it'll be the right one, and it never turns out to be. And apart from the NYX line, they're not inexpensive, and I've got NYX ones here that are close, you know, but not perfect. That one is pretty close, but again, it's too dark. So yeah, lip liners is on my, I hope I no longer buy them, or that the next one I buy will be because it's the perfect colour, you know, because I've matched it up, and not just because, oh, that looks nice, I like lip liners. That was number 8. Number 9, bold non-liquid lips. I will definitely no longer buy them. I have bought lipsticks a couple of times that are bold, and the only ones that I think are okay in a bold colour that are an actual lipstick are the ones from MAC, which were called Retro Matte. They're the only ones that would stay on me. Well, I've still got 3 of them, and I've actually tried them recently and they look okay. You know, they've not gone mouldy or anything, because I haven't bought from MAC for years, obviously. But I just find that any bold lipstick that isn't a liquid lipstick where it dries down completely matte, I end up like getting some on my face or some on my hands, or I just don't feel confident in them because I feel like I'm going to end up talking to somebody and find out I had lipstick across my cheek or something, you know. So if I'm going to buy a bold colour, it's going to be in a liquid lipstick, or if I ever find a sort of retro matte type product from a cruelty-free brand. Number 10 is primers. I am sick of primers, and I've never really believed in primers, but you know, as always, the marketing has got me with a few things. There have been a couple of primers, I've got 2 in my hands that I've had for so long because they are actually good primers, but they're still not, I don't think I would notice if I didn't wear them. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I forgot to put my primer on. But the first one is the Hylamide Matte 12. This one is pretty good. This one just, I feel like, made everything look a little bit more, this I would say is a bit more blurring than the things that claim to be blurring, like that Hourglass powder, you know, and it would just make everything feel a little bit more matte. Is this called matte? Yeah, Matte 12, and last a little bit longer. But like I said, it isn't like I'd look in the mirror and go, oh my God, I forgot to put my primer on. This Airbrush Away one, this is one that I used to use many years ago. I'm assuming it's still okay. Yeah, it just smells a bit dusty, but I've had this for a few years and I know they still do this, the number 7 Airbrush Away Radiance Boosting Primer. And I kept this just because I love the colour. I just think that that's actually really nice as a primer. Just on its own, I think that's nice on your face. So not really as a primer, because I wouldn't prime it for anything, but I have used this over my face when I'm not wearing any makeup, just as a kind of brightener, and it's really nice. But I've also used it underneath foundation. It is a little bit perfecting, you know, because it's got that little bit of a silicone feel. I don't know whether it's got silicone in it, but like I said, for me, the attraction to this one was just the colour. It's such a beautiful pink. And unlike anything else I've seen, that looks a bit too bright for you to be able to see, doesn't it? See it there? So I have kept those 2, but I don't use them very often. So other ones that I've been trying for the last little while are there's a new Hourglass primer that I've been trying, the Elf Poreless Putty, is it called? And I have been using them for probably the last month, one or the other, or other primers. Like I've been trying this one as well, the Barry M All Night Long. And I have been using them on the right side of my face, putting my foundation on and then having a look later on and seeing if I can see any difference. And I just haven't seen any difference. It's just one of those things that I think is an extra step. I think it's an unnecessary expense. I think that it's an unnecessary step. And I think that if you've got a good foundation, the foundation itself will last, you know. Probably the same with setting sprays. Setting sprays could probably go in this category because I haven't ever found them to be great. I put a setting spray on when I go to meet my friend for lunch because I know that, well, back when it was in normal times, you know, I would be in Edinburgh from 9 o'clock in the morning and then meet her for lunch, and then we'd have cocktails and blah, blah, blah. I'd be out for the whole day without barely looking at my makeup. And I don't know whether it was just, I felt better using a setting spray, but apart from that, I don't use one because they tend to have alcohol in them, or perfume, and it's not something I want to be spraying on my face. But anyway, primer, and like I said, probably I could include setting sprays. I feel like are a bit of an unnecessary expense and step. Although setting sprays can be nice, you know, they can be like quite refreshing, can't they? That's everything on my 10 things I no longer buy. I know that mine was probably a longer video than most because I was showing you what I do use as opposed to what I don't use. As opposed to just talking about what I don't use, but I thought that that might be useful to you. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I'll list everything that I've mentioned that I do use instead in the description, along with all my makeup, and I will speak to you again soon.